Welcome, everyone. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 885. On today's show, I'm going to discuss the DuckDuckGo browser. Yeah, that's right. They have their own browser. Windows troubleshooter. Don't forget about that. I'm going to talk about how that saved me this week with a client, an Outlook issue I had to create, and then we're going to spend some time. Had a client where I spent a lot of time this week helping them out with their credit card fraud. So let's get things started, and I'm going to the first link for today's show is the DuckDuckGo browser, and it's very simple, very just nothing. There's no extras, there's no fluff here. It's a fast and nice browser. Let's go to a site. I'm just going to Mac Rumors, and you can see it's fast, it's nice, and you know what? While we're there, let's go to fast.com. Let's see what my internet connection. Ooh, that's not very good considering, I guess, because a lot of the bandwidth's being taken up doing the broadcast, because I have gig up and down. And there it is. It's finally kicking in. So gig up and down, and I'm at fast.com, and it's 860 megs for the download. But the first link I have is to take a look at DuckDuckGo. Now, I don't know what they have for extensions. That's something I got to explore, because there's a few extensions that still keeps me tethered to Firefox. And there's something about Chrome. I use it for certain programs, but it just can't become my default browser. And I've even tried to use Brave just because it's a cleaner version of Firefox, and it's just a nicer program, and I just can't get into anything, and I keep using Firefox, and Firefox keeps disappointing me, which is very interesting, because a lot of times I gotta close it down and shut the 20 instances that's running in Firefox, and I only got one web page up. So I'm just throwing out there another browser. Trying to think, what other browsers do I have? I mean, I use Edge sometimes just because does it behave better when you go to Microsoft, and you have to log in. I have to for clients, but I have all the browsers. I need it. I mean, of course, I have Tor, for as necessary, and now added DuckDuckGo. So give it a try. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you found extensions and what you like about it, if at all. You can import your bookmarks, by the way, which I thought was really helpful when you start up DuckDuckGo for the first time. All right, so now let's talk about Windows Update with just a spinning circle and nothing listed on the update page for a client. And I wanted to apply updates, and boy, I was having a lot of trouble. I was trying a couple things, and then, you know what? I read, and this is a link from Microsoft. It's like, why not run the troubleshooter? And it's so easy. And even in Windows 11, which this was Windows 11 Pro, click Start, go to Settings, System, and you could just type in search for troubleshooter. Then go to other troubleshooters, and you're going to see Windows Update. Run the troubleshooter. As a matter of fact, I should make that my first go-to on troubleshooting problems on a system, and I often forget about that, and that's why I wanted to let you know, hey, that fixed the problem. After that, I did a reboot just to be clean. And sure enough, I got the whole page with all the options, all the updates, and there were a lot of them, ran all the updates. And what I was really looking for automatically, this was a Dell laptop. I wanted to make sure that the latest firmware was being updated. And of course, that downloaded. And that solved some performance issues that my client was having. So just wanted to bring up the troubleshooter. And of course, that link is going to be in the show notes. And remember, all the show notes are always, if you go to Mike Tech Show, all one word, .com, that's where everything's at. That's where all the links are for anything I talk about on the show. So in there, there'll be the show notes, and it will contain that. So let's keep going. The next problem. Now, this was a strange one. My client called and said emails coming in are going straight to an archive folder. So one of the things I'm thinking, he accidentally put on archives, or there's some kind of rule that is making this happen. Now, there were a few rules that he wasn't aware of. And what you have to do is log on to Outlook Web Access. And this is if it's an Exchange hosted environment. And this is a Microsoft Business 365 account. So I logged in on his Outlook Web Access and cleared any rules. Then on his Outlook, I went to rules and made sure there were no rules happening there. Then I went to right-click on the inbox and made sure archive this folder is off. So you got to hit all the folders and turn archiving off if this is an issue where mail's being archived and you don't want it to be archived. So very simple to do. And I have a great link. And again, it's a Microsoft community forum, and there are some nice links, and it discusses this in the main answer, which is, hey, go to Outlook Web Access, then go to Settings, Mail, Automatic Processing, and then Inbox and Sweep rules, and clear them out. And then it tells you to go to Outlook. So just something that wanted to throw out there as I was fixing problems today, this week. Going to go off script here for a second. Yesterday, had to spend time, and this is annoying. QuickBooks, and this is QuickBooks, I think, Premium 2022, and they now force you to do updates where you can't log in. You get 3 tries, and then you can't log in, and you have to do updates. But one of the things, you don't want updates on one, and here we have a 3 simultaneous user license for a client, even though they have like 5 users, but only 3 at a time. And I got to make sure that all the systems have the updates. So I quickly send an email out to everybody, said, hey, can you kind of get off the database? And then for the main person who needs to do it, their bookkeeper, I ran the update. She always reaches out to me when this happens, when she's on her last option. So it said, there's going to be you have one more login left before you are forced to update. I don't like that. I know there's good and bad. We would never update if we left it to the end users. I get it. But it is annoying. And I had to make sure that was all done. And then that was successful. There was a reboot. And of course, there's a lot of Windows updates ready to go. So that rebooted and then hit all the systems. And I was able to log in. Once I did the one and I seen how long it would take and what was involved with that update. And then I sit and I log into as many as possible. So I quickly call the user, say, hey, I'm going to jump in. And I have my sync row, and I'm running all across my 3 screens. I've got updates happening, and half hour later, everything's done. So that was easy and nice, but just something I ran into yesterday. My son was on site for different clients. He had a busy schedule yesterday, and so I was just manning the phone, just going little crazy simple things that I had to log in and quickly take care of. Now, I have a rule of thumb, and I wonder everybody out there thinking this. What if you have a 10-minute problem that you solve, or a 5-minute problem? If this is a regular client, I have a rule of thumb. If I'm going to stop, if I just help them over the phone and solve it quickly, then no charge. If I have to stop and remote in to do something, I minimum charge a half hour. So whatever our billing rate that was negotiated, a half hour for remoting in. And that was something last night. I was up late just catching up on invoices. And that's really bad because I have an invoice, and I hate this. I bill quarterly for most of my clients, and I noticed I forgot to bill them the quarter before. So now I'm billing them for 6 months, and it's, the invoice is double the size, and I hate doing that because I forgot. I don't know where it fell through the cracks. I have an arcane way of managing my accounts receivable and my invoices, and it just slipped through. So anyway, as we head into the main topic for today, credit card fraud. Now, there's lots of ways your credit card can be compromised. And I'm going to have like a generic link from Forbes Advisor here that kind of helps, but a lot of it is common sense. And you got to be aware of what they call card skimmers. Because here I have a client that his card has been compromised a couple times, and they've changed it. And this one is strange because a month ago, he got a new card from a bank and never used it. It was a new number that no one would have. He has never used it, and fraudulent charges came on it. How can that be? This is a new card with a new number, and it was compromised. So it's not, yes, you want to do things to protect yourself, but it's going to get compromised. This guy, there's no reason that should have been compromised, and it was. And I'm going to give something that's not here in this link that I want to talk about that bothers me when I'm at a restaurant. When I'm at a restaurant and I give my credit card and it now disappears with my server. In Europe, that doesn't happen. Every restaurant that I was at, this is 2017 in Germany with my son and I, my son Ryan, I was amazed that they would bring the portable card reader to your table. And I love restaurants that do that, where your card never leaves your hand. You're the one who puts it in, takes it out. So let's go back 2 years. First time of a brand new business card for my company. And it was a MasterCard, and I had never used it. Never put the number anywhere. And I'm trying to think what the, was it CompTIA or I'm trying to think. It was a seminar sessions in Orlando, and I'm staying at a DoubleTree hotel. And when I was checking out, I gave my card, and he didn't use it like right in front of me. he vanished. He disappeared with my card. And, and then came back and it was processed and he had copies. And he's like, oh, I had to use another reader. No, he skimmed that card. He got the info off it because a week later there was a fraudulent airline charge. And that was the only place I used it. And I know, discussing that with my bank, they had to, take care of the, they had to make sure that I've never flown to Colorado. And then they had to take, they gave me the credit back, and issued a new card. And I was thinking, we know where the culprit was. Did I pursue and call the hotel and let them know? No, I didn't. And a lot of you were thinking, Mike, what are you doing? He's going to do that to other people. I just didn't have the time to fight it down, and I wasn't thinking about it. So just one of those things that be aware of your card and where it's going. And that's something that I don't know why that's never discussed in these lists. So here's another one, data breaches. Now, here's a way to avoid data breaches. Don't save your credit card information at any site, at any retailer. But see, for renewals, we do that. See, Microsoft, I leave that for the renewal. So every year, it'll hit my card and charge me. So do as I say, not as I do. But I mean, there are a couple that I have to. I got no choice, and I got to trust in with because I don't want to keep entering that. I want to, I want it on auto pay. Here you go. This is a great example. T-Mobile, you get that $10 discount a month for putting it on auto pay. Well, of course I'm going to take advantage of that because that's $120 a year off my bill that I don't have to worry about to have it on auto pay. And it saves me time. So just keep all these things in mind. Of course, phishing emails and calls, you can't respond. And as we know, our clients, they constantly respond to fraudulent phone call, fraudulent email. I'm training a lot of our clients, that, hey, let us know. If you're not sure if something's legit, take a picture, text us. We'll let you know right away. And I would rather opt in not believing it and saying no, and then investigate and then see whether it's real or not. I have a lot of clients that do that. So here you go, public Wi-Fi networks. Make sure you have a VPN to be able to use your system. I mean, I have my VPN, so if I'm at a hotel or anything, I'm VPNing into my main system in Pennsylvania and then going out the internet that way. Now, what do you do when your credit card information is compromised? And here's how you know. You must be diligent in checking your statements. Constantly be checking your statements. So for this repeat with this client where he's constantly, I said, we need to figure out where this is being compromised now. And I need you to go through your statements and let's see where you've been charging. And it's always not right before, but let's get an idea. I said, go back 3 months and analyze every charge. And then let's see what's going on and start analyzing. A big place I know, a lot of people, gasoline stations, ATMs, and that's where those skimmers are located, where you put your card in and you swipe it and it's taking the number, it's taking the info. So once you learn, you got to call a credit card company immediately. So you want to check for account activity regularly. Do that all the time. Don't give personal information in response to an email or a call. check credit reports at least once a year. Maybe I do once a quarter. I run my credit. I check that, and that's available through my bank, which, my main credit card, which I really like that. It's my credit journey, and I get to see my credit score, and I get to see, what kind of activities are going on there, just in case, hey, someone opens up something in your name. Only purchase items online from well-known and secure websites. That's good advice. Don't store credit card information on online retail sites. That's more good advice, especially online retail. There's no reason, because you don't have an auto pay going on, or you don't have something, there's no reason to store that. And don't store it on your computer. Don't, because then if you got something else that gets compromised, then there you go. And then keep credit cards that aren't regularly used, keep them at home. Don't carry them with you. So that's my credit card and fraudulent credit card info. I spent some time this week like I said, with a client, and we've deep cleaned his system, so there's nothing on his computer that's contributing to this. But he is going somewheres, buying something, or going somewheres where his information's constantly being compromised. So we got to figure that out. And I don't know why the bank hasn't done anything. And one of the things I'm worried about, and we discussed this, the bank that sent him the new credit card number and he never used it and it was compromised, I said, I don't trust the bank now. Change from that bank. And that's something he's going to do. And, go with a big bank, at Chase or someone like, go with the big name. And hey, are they going to get compromised? Of course they are. And then they have to let you know. And I know my credit union, I remember they were being compromised so much that back in Philadelphia, and that was the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union that I don't use, because we never used the cards, the debit cards. They were constantly being compromised and sending us new ones. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And it was just across the board. They had to send cards out to everybody. And that's not good, So you can't keep the information secure, then I can't bank with you, and I can't work with you on that. So you have to take a hard look at some of these. So I hope some of this, it's just experience and just making sure, common sense, and hopefully gave you some things to think about on your credit card journey, or anybody you run into if they get compromised, and ways to be proactive instead of reactive. And I mean, especially on a compromise, you're never going to know until it happens. But, do some due diligence when you're at an ATM, just in case there's a camera somewheres. Cup your hand where you're typing your code, or when you're entering your zip code at a gas pump. It only takes a second to just use one hand and cup it and cover. Can't hurt. Is it going to solve everything? No, but it's the little things that we can do to help secure our credit cards, any of our financial information. So hopefully some of that helps. I have to do a show on some of the horror stories. Halloween's coming up. You know what? I think I got the topic for next Thursday. As it dawned on me, I'm going to talk about horror stories, tech horror stories. That's what I'm going to do. And hey, as you listen to this, if you're listening to it and it's before Halloween, send me an email with some tech horror stories, and that'll be my topic for next Thursday. Then the week after, so November 9th, which is my wife's birthday, and she's flying down, she was able to secure a round trip ticket for just $80. And she had Friday off already. Comes in on Thursday and is going to leave on Tuesday morning. So it's like just spending a little long weekend, and we get to celebrate our birthdays because her birthday is November 9th. My birthday is November 17th. And then I got the Bush concert on November 15th down here. So that was a little surprise because she's coming back for Thanksgiving, and it was nice. And, with flight prices, if you don't have to if you don't have to carry luggage, you don't care about an assigned seat, and you can go, yes, you fly a Frontier, you can save a ton of money, but they nab you on those little fees. And if you can avoid all of them, you can find some incredible deals where you don't need luggage. And of course, we have the two houses. Now, I like what Dexter said, Scorpios. Yes, there's actually many Scorpios in our family. My son Tyler is a Scorpio, and then I'm a Scorpio. My wife's a Scorpio, if you're into that. And yes, that's it is one of the signs that the Scorpio. Oh, and Dexter's on the 7th. The Scorpios can be together, and we've proven that for 44 years, my wife and I. So just throw that out there. And I am textbook. If you look at the if you're into any of that, and you look at like overall the traits of a Scorpio, that's like textbook me. So give you something out there, and some of it you'll be like, "Ooh, that's cool." Some of it'll scare you. All right, that's it. Hey, don't forget to email me, MikeTechShow@gmail.com. Let me know what you're thinking, what you'd like to hear. I want to hear those horror stories. That'd be great. Hey, don't forget, go to the YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Michael Smith MTS on YouTube. And you can catch a lot of the videos. I put them up right after I'm done recording every show. I post it up. And don't forget donations. And you help me out with some of the billing and some of the maintenance and what it takes to put the show on. It would be greatly appreciated, and would be put to good use. And the link is always in the show notes and on the main website at MikeTechShow.com. That's it for this afternoon. I will see you next week. I didn't mention that my Phillies got defeated. The big guns, the big hitters couldn't hit for the final two games of that series of the NLCS, and the bats just weren't happening, and they got beat by the Diamondbacks. And you got to be able to hit in order to win. And it was a great season. I had a lot of fun, watching the Phillies, and they were very entertaining, and they just fell short of going to the World Series. So hopefully next year, looking forward to spring training already. And I think it's 100 days, and the pitchers and catchers report down here. So already looking forward to the next season. That's it. Bye-bye.